Whoa, this is a shocking alert. I cannot believe what just happened. Denmark just signaled that the US is now an enemy territory of Denmark. What in the world is going on? Hit the like button, share this video, because why is Denmark saying, literally a NATO ally, that America is the enemy? And what does that even mean? Whew. This is a geopolitical shift that most people unfortunately miss, but it just happened literally a couple of days ago. In fact, a NATO country, the NATO alliance, is typically filled with Denmark, France, Germany, Belgium, the UK, Spain, Portugal, America, you know, all the top tier Western civilizations that have been like this for years, okay? But listen, they just publicly used enemy language towards the US, not ally language, not partner language, enemy. This is a seismic shift happening in the fabric of Western unification, and it has real world consequences. Stay with me, let's walk through this together, because words matter in geopolitics. When a nation frames another as an enemy instead of a competitor or partner with disagreements, it implies they're doing intelligence distancing, they have diminished military cooperation, they have hardened security postures, and have altered trade and visa negotiations. Now, I want you to leave a comment down below if you think that eventually, or in the very short near future, that this could mean that Denmark and America stop doing this visa situation with each other and you're no longer able to go visa free, or they start scrutinizing you if you were to go to Denmark. Not that many people want to go there, but hey, you know, we are expats on this channel. We are digital nomads. We are world travelers, investors. We are globally minded for the next generation. And so it behooves us to pay attention to these patterns. Now, governments never just choose an enemy casually. This is strategic framing publicly for something that's going to be a little bit more dark. Denmark and NATO are the backdrop. Again, Denmark is a NATO member, like America, part of the same defense pact that they have worked on together to stop Russia and China from taking over the world. NATO's whole foundation since 1949 has literally been mutual defense. Attack one of us, you attack all of us. No games being played. If you hit one, you hit us all. We're gonna get you. This was after World War II happened, because they were like, we don't want another world war with Germany having anything to do with Russia or Italy or Japan or anything like that. And so look, you hit one of us, you hit us all, and we're gonna come for you. But recent rhetoric from Danish leadership has shifted. And again, it's 2025, friends. It's about to be 2026. They no longer are partners with a little bit of friction or disagreements in the family, disagreements with your cousin. No, this language matches you are my enemy status. And that's not a political theater. This signals a breakdown in alliance cohesion that will impact the entire globe. Let's just be honest here. We all know that NATO unity is weakening. Let's look at the numbers, because this is not just something that came off the top of my head or out the sky or like an imaginary thing that's happening. Numbers, statistics, and data don't lie. NATO public trust has been declining in key member states, not only this year, but for the past decade. Polling across Europe shows less confidence in American leadership. Many European publics now see China as less of a threat than Russia. Confidence in U.S. crisis management has dropped sharply. You can go ahead and look up the European polling data from 2024 to 2025 to see those trend lines, and it's not random. This is structural, a collapse in the system, the institution. When these trusted institutions weaken, alliances become transactional. They're no longer cooperative. And let's run this back and really think about this for a moment. European states, some of them, believe China is more trustworthy than Russia. And so some of them could be forming alliances with China, which they are free to do because they are sovereign humans, you know? They are sovereign humans that can choose who they want to have alliances with. But what do you think that means for America, who basically put out in the Project 2025 document that's 1,096 pages, which you should read, near the end of the document, that China is actually the #1 enemy of America? We're just gonna pause on that and just let y'all look. I wanna know what y'all think. What do you think? Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Now, economic realignments are happening. Denmark is doing a calculus right now. They participate in EU economic zones, of course. They're part of the Schengen travel arrangements, of course. They have those digital IDs that they implemented for the Schengen states, and they have Nordic defense partnerships with France and Germany. But this isn't really a neutral space like down here in Mauritius, Africa, where we're just kind of chilling and relaxing. These are competitive blocks with strategic positioning, not just geography. The US dollar still dominates global trade. Roughly 88% of global forex reserves are still in USD. But Europe has been steadily reducing that share over the last, get this, not 2 years, not 5 years, 20 years, 2 decades. That means European states now have more room to take independent stances aside from America economically and diplomatically. And let me just say, I don't mind either way. I think they're sovereign humans. I think they should choose what they want to choose. I think they should not be in what they think is an abusive relationship. I think if they feel like there is no more to be partnered with because maybe President Donald Trump told them, hey, this was public news at the beginning of the year. He wanted Iceland, which is actually a Denmark territory. They were like, hey, that's not cool to just come and take my stuff and steal my stuff, like is kind of being perpetuated down in Venezuela. But hey, I don't mind either way, but I'm just here to report to you what's happening so that you can make informed decisions as an expat, because some of you are in Thailand. Some may have traveled through Spain. Some may have traveled to Dubai, Portugal, Ghana, South Africa, Botswana, Nigeria, Kenya, Tanzania, Zanzibar, Mauritius, Singapore. You guys are all over the place. And so we need to pay attention as people that are not just relying on global elites to tell us what to think and what to do. Now, here's what this shift actually signals for the United States of America. If NATO members use enemy language, intelligence sharing loosens. So typically these people, and of course we can see this in the movies as well, their communication, they would work together. If they think there's a threat in, I don't know, somewhere in the Middle East or in Asia or wherever, then they would probably communicate with each other and say, hey, do you have information on whatever, on so-and-so, whatever? Do you want to do these military drills together? But instead, they are going to stop doing military drills together and may prioritize their regional blocks that are in the Nordic North or between France and Germany. US influence in Europe is going to shrink even further over time. And the next logical question you should have, if you think anything like I do, is what the heck does that do to the US dollar? Because look, you may just want to buy some gold. I'll just put it like that. You don't have to believe there will be a war. The war is over influence, not battalions. Now, if you are like, I'm so exhausted from trying to understand geopolitics, AI, technology, international banking, and you're like, I need somebody to coach and consult me through this. Maybe you lost a loved one recently and you're going through this grief cycle. We've had a lot of clients come into the Mature Adult Intensive that are juggling a lot of these life changes. Or maybe you're like, hey, I just sold off a property and I just don't have the capacity right now to figure out things alone. Or maybe you just picked up another job or you're doing whatever you're doing and you're like, hey, I'm too tired. I don't have the mental capacity to make these decisions on my own. I want to speak to you. I do have good news. We have one spot available in the Mature Adult Intensive, Cohort 4. Only one spot, because it's only December 12th and they booked those spots up quick. And we start again December 29th, and we're already in Cohort 3 right now. So we had opened up Cohort 4 for those of you, but those spots are pretty much taken. So whoever goes to the link in the description, www.journeywithusmovetoafrica.com/services will be the one that gets that last spot that is going to end up saving them thousands and thousands of dollars, loads of stress, and gaining a community of other like-minded mature adults in an incubated setting. Check out the link in the description. Whew, now I don't know about y'all, but all this has really tired me out, okay? And there's even more because we need to do a quick cut to Venezuela and why this is all connected. Venezuela has recently been expanding ties with non-Western blocs as they have the ability. These are free humans, they're not slaves, they're not property. You can't control everybody on earth. They are free to do business with whoever they'd like to do business with, okay? They're engaging China, Russia, and Turkey economically, reorienting trade and oil alliances to better suit their citizens, their government, their people, as all countries should. And this is not incidental. It's exactly the same pattern. U.S. influence is fading, non-Western partnerships are strengthening, and America, quite honestly, can't take it. They just seized an oil tanker. The U.S. military just seized an oil tanker that belongs to Venezuela. So look, it wasn't even a drug ship. It wasn't, they were saying the war on drugs and there's cartels and all that. Oh my gosh, but they seized the oil tanker, which, the Gulf of Mexico could be out of oil, or they're like, we need some more diversified oil. And so they're like, let's just seize and take this oil from Venezuela. So while Denmark signals a rhetorical shift in the Atlantic and Western nations, Venezuela in South America actually signals a structural shift in the global South and energy markets. Now you may be thinking, okay, what does this actually mean for me right at this moment? It's not abstract politics, it's not fear-mongering. This is strategy that impacts your travel mobility, dual citizenship planning, if that's even going to be a thing in the future, your passport strength, investment safety zones, and relocation strategy. When allied nations start speaking in enemy terms, again, global realignments are going to accelerate, and you want to be on the neutral, proper side so that you are not caught in the crosshairs, the crossfires. You do not want to be collateral damage of the collapse of the Western nations. And if you want clarity before chaos, you already know that you should be subscribed to this channel. But I be looking at the analytics and I'm like, okay, 54 people, 54% of you who come back here consistently, and y'all be watching 2 and 3 videos, and then y'all watch the same videos. Like some of you are listening to this video, then you're gonna watch it tomorrow again, then you're gonna watch it the next day. And I am a huge proponent of that. I thank you. I deeply appreciate that. But I'd also appreciate it if you just hit that subscribe bell. The subscribe button. It shouldn't take too long. I think it'll take like 5 seconds, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I think that's about how long it takes to subscribe. Share this with people who think that everything is just a la land in the Western nations, because obviously Denmark does not think so. And again, my last question that I asked you at the beginning of this video, do you think that this is going to affect visa access for America and the EU, or America and Denmark? Let me know down below. Shalom, shalom. See you in the next video.